Well, in this video I will be discussing regarding cross operators, Choi isomorphism. Choi isomorphism, which is established by Choi matrix, is a very important instance of cross operators. This is useful for basically the Lindblad equation that I will be doing in the next or later videos. So let's start. The calculations here will also give us a understanding of how to deal with various descriptions and various calculations. So given a Hilbert space, define a new Hilbert space which will be the ancilla. This is the HR, such that the dimension of this Hilbert space is same as our system Hilbert space. And given these two Hilbert space now, we define a new state that is an entangled state called the Bell zero state. If you remember, for a two-state qubit we had this as the entangled state. Now if I remove the normalization, we can look at the similarity between this equation and this equation without normalization. This is for any arbitrary dimensions. Now given this Bell state, and so you construct the Bell state only by the Hilbert space of the system and ancilla which has the same dimensions. And given this, you now suppose have a map that's a quantum operation from in the space of the system. You can uplift the operator and consider this as a matrix. You see, why is this a matrix? So first of all, this was an operation in S space. This term, you can see that it is now an operation in RS space. So this operation got upgraded. And further, as this is a quantum operation, and the video previous to this one shows that quantum operations need to be CP-CT maps. So they need to be CP, completely positive trace preserving, CPTP maps. So that gives us here. So when you put a state in the Hilbert space, joint Hilbert space RS, this map should give an output in the joint Hilbert space of RS that as a density matrix. So this matrix, the Choi matrix, is actually a density matrix because of complete positivity of the quantum operation. This complete positivity we also saw that makes the transpose operation as not a quantum operation. So let's move on. Now given this matrix, this Choi map, we just represent it further. So you see, this is this state I know explicitly by construction in this form. I take these two state where I take the first as this one and another as the J variable, and then I form this matrix, and then I reach to this state. So you have seen this is just this thing written completely in terms of orthonormal basis. Now given this point, we have come till here. Now we need to evaluate this function. This is what this is a very important point. The point is the rho state was in the system Hilbert space, but if I take the same basis of the system Hilbert space in the Hilbert space which is of same dimension, then I will ensure another rho state in the system R Hilbert space, and then I take the transpose of that state. But as it is just the transpose in one dimension, this is a valid operation, and this is my entire rho transpose in R, and then I tensor with identity in Hilbert space over the Hilbert space of HS, and then this is that. Actually these are not on the Hilbert space, these operators, they are on the bound, so they exist on somewhere the bounded linear function, linear maps from Hilbert space to Hilbert space. So given that, I move on. What I do is now I have to calculate this thing where I can substitute this from here, you can see, and the moment I substitute this, this is just identity, so this term comes same as this one, and this has this, so this comes here. So this is next line. Now tracing over R means just inserting an orthonormal set of bases and finding the diagonal elements. So that is what I have done. Here the summation over K is just the fact that takes care of the tracing operation. And from here we can get the Kronecker delta, and this Kronecker delta helps us finally to reach in this step. Now you see, this is just a scalar product. So this is the scalar quantity, and this is on the Hilbert space of system. And now we can use another important property. So I had completely positive trace preserving. This had a property of linearity that said that exactly this condition, you see. This is just a physical assumption of the fact that if my initial matrix has some randomness, it must get shown in the final operation. So this brings us, I can put this thing inside, because particularly of this summation can be put inside this, and this brings us here. Now defining this rho transpose in terms of rho, we get finally that this. So the fact is, we started with this operation and have ended with this characterization, and hence this operation, which only depends on the Choi matrix and the state that you are looking at, completely characterizes the quantum operation that we want. So you see, this is the final result, and this is a very important result this is the important relation that any quantum operation can be characterized by a Choi matrix, and the Choi matrix just required the system. The ancilla is just the same as system Hilbert space, but it is just getting traced over or ignored finally. That's why it is called the ancilla. Now from here we make another remark. Now you see, because of complete positivity of this map was upgraded to I tensor this map in the previous page, if you see. So let's go here. So you see, this map was upgraded here, and then I said that this was supposed to be a density matrix in the space of bounded linear maps from RS Hilbert space. So this means that this can have a spectral value decomposition, but this spectral value decomposition, these elements are in the tensor product Hilbert space. Spectral value decomposition means these are positive. I can absorb them in this form to give this. This is just for simplicity. From here now, we again recap the fact that we have got this as our result, because we want to characterize, we want to find a complete characterization of quantum operations. So this brings us here. Now I just substitute the Choi matrix in this form here. Now from here, let's look at this step. I will discuss this one later. So from here, what we get here is that this is the matrix. I am free to introduce an identity operation, identity map from Hilbert space HR to HR. This is the map in terms of summation over J, and then using the linearity of trace, I can pull this summation outside. This is outside, and now to take care of the tracing operation, I finally introduce a orthonormal set of bases here. Now you see, now this is the final complete map of E of rho, but we can go one step further by noticing this important fact that each of the eigenvectors that I get in the Choi matrix can be written in terms of the basis elements of the joint Hilbert space. So given a Hilbert space, so let me just write it quickly. So if I have HS tensor HR, this is of dimension D, this is of dimension D, so their entire dimension is of D square, and hence I can find D square many elements that can give rise to this operation. So in this form, I hope this is clear, where this I is a basis of R Hilbert space, J is a basis of S Hilbert space, and now this components of this basis decomposition in the joint Hilbert space is what will give rise to the complete characterization. So you can just put this here, and then this finally give rise to this. this is the most important result, where this d square is the maximum. At maximum you need d square distinct values to completely characterize this vector that belongs to this space. Now what this isomorphism mean is that corresponding to every quantum operation you can find maps, this is mk and mk dagger, such that they completely characterize this. Why is that so? Because of the fact that this quantum operation is completely characterized by the Choi map using this relation that we proved, and finally the Choi map is completely characterized by this M components. So where M are defined, where these M, the components of M will be a matrix, so the components Mij of M will be just the decomposition that I will obtain of this spectral vector of this Choi map here. So that is the complete characterization. Now this is one more important point, is that this trace preserving maps, they belong in this Hilbert's, they are bounded linear maps on the Hilbert space of the system. And by bounded I mean that where this norm is of norm of operator, which requires some sort of a supremum condition. So it will be norm of AF supremum over norm of F, and supremum is taken over all the F, where F is the underlying Hilbert space. But that's not important. The important point is that these bounded operators belong to a Banach space. What is a Banach space? Any vector space that has a norm, kind of like the thing that can take care of length. Like in real numbers you see root of, so we make that so when we measure the distances, we take the norm of vector, which is nothing but under root of a square plus b square plus c square if we are in real numbers, if we are in R3. So similar to the fact, if you have a vector space, you can give it a norm, and then you require that sequence, certain sort of sequences called Cauchy sequences, they must converge within. So this additional property of convergence, which is also called the completeness property, is what makes a vector space to a Banach space, or what makes a normed vector space to a Banach space. So what this means is that for finite dimension Hilbert spaces of system of dimension D, these matrices, these completely positive trace preserving maps Mk, they belong to the Banach space of which underlies this Hilbert space. And this also means that given a finite dimensional Banach space, I can find a Schroeder basis which can be made to be orthogonal to each other, where the basis vector can be made to be orthonormal in fact. This fact will play an important role in complete understanding of what Linbald equation, which is the Linbald master equation, is. So that's all for this video. I hope this was clear. So Choi isomorphism, this is the main result of Choi isomorphism, after which it's just a matter of understanding why I can do the spectral value decomposition. And here I must always emphasize that CPTP characterization was very important, because completeness and trace preserving, not even trace, actually completeness is the most important characterization that we used. So that really says that the axiomatic approach to the quantum information, as discussed in the previous video, is of severe importance.